Welcome to wow. So it's been a while since I made a video, and the reason is it has been raining, I swear, non-stop for the past like 2 weeks. We haven't been in the fields, and I've been doing little things like I spent a couple days sweeping a grain bin, and I've been picking rock and doing some other stuff, some smaller things here, there, a little bit of cleaning, and it just nothing that I can really make videos on. So I apologize for not coming out with a video last week, but I think it's, let's say, June 7th. This will be coming out on the 9th, potentially. Anyways, we're finally back in the field today. We're doing all of our corn spraying. I'm running the tender truck. My brother he's actually up the road right here. On his way over from the last field. We've already done a few fields here today. I've just been trying to get caught up, trying to get back in the swing of things before I start recording and distracting myself a little bit. But around here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa, it's just been raining so much lately that, first of all, not all the soybeans are planted in an area. I would say 80%, 90% are planted here in my county, but if you go county south, I would say 40 to 50% of the soybeans are maybe planted, and I could be off a little bit. But we got lucky, we got all of our soybeans in. And all of our corn. I planted the rest of the organic corn here the other day off camera, and the soybeans. But it is heavy spray time right now. It's finally dry enough to get in the fields, and we haven't been able to get the sprayer out for a really long time, and nobody has. And this is kind of what our fields are looking at. And this patch right here seems to be a little bit worse than others, but you can see the weeds poking up through here. And yeah, it needs to get done today because there's barely any wind and there's rain in the forecast, and I don't know how windy it's supposed to be tomorrow. So it's like, it's go time today. In fact, on the way down to the farm this morning, I think I drove past 3 sprayers and 4 tender trucks. So it's like, it's a county, it's probably a 5 county wide, like, get all your spraying done today. Other than the few weeds that are popping up here, can we just take a minute to look at how beautiful and even this field is? This field is so much more even than most of the fields out there, and the main reason is well, first of all, we planted Wyffels 1996 here. To be dead serious though, we are pretty impressed with how well the Wyffels has been handling the cold temperatures. I mean, it's like most of our growing days have been in the 60s, and it's just been a cold, wet spring. I don't know if it's technically summer now or not. Wyffels, but I don't care what brand of corn you plant. If you're up here in southern Minnesota and you don't have a system tiled field, it ain't gonna do well in a wet year. And we system tiled this field 4-ish years ago, I wanna say, and it is really showing. This is just such a beautiful field of corn. Okay, so he just pulled in the field. Looks like he's gonna do the end rows here quick. I need to get pumping because this stuff takes forever, especially this Roundup. Oh, just broke that off. Whoops. Especially this Roundup, it just takes forever to do. Reset to 0. There we go. Our tank's so big in the sprayer that we have to do like absurd amounts of mixture in these cones now. Please don't fall over. I'll kneel. I'll squat. That way camera can see me. Okay. Okay. This one. Okay, got these going. This one needs about 30 gallons in it. This one needs 20. So both got a little bit to go. Here's Chris. Okay, I gotta start paying attention. 18. This meter, we were given a bad meter. This one is not reading correctly at all. So I've been having to go off the measurements on the side of the cones, which they are NSFIA NS 0.1 certified. So they should be really pretty dang close. I am at a slight angle, so I did compensate a little bit, so it's a little bit below the 30, but that should be good. The other meter works perfect. I put 19.99 gallons in this one, and now I just kind of sit for a moment and wait for him to empty out. 2,400 gallon tank, it takes a while sometimes. So we're waiting for Chris to finish up his tank here. I guess I could go over our tender truck a little bit. I think I went over it pretty in depth, like 2019 maybe. It's been a while. Hasn't changed, it's still the same one. So we got two 3,200 gallon water tanks right there and right there. We got a spot for the cages in back, and then some pallets of boxes of individual jugs if we need them. We got a hose reel right here. It's electric in and out, unlike our new straight truck, which is just electric out. I actually like the straight truck one's better. This one's kind of a slug. And did I already mention the mixing cones? We got two mixing cones here, and then we got kind of an induction one, which you can do for liquid or dry stuff that you're going to be putting in. And the way that it's plumbed up, we have it set so the chemical will never get behind this point right here. So these tanks have never had anything other than water in them. It's set up so that way the chemical cannot go backwards, and then you get what's it called? Contamination. That was where I was looking for. We got it set up so that way we cannot contaminate the water in the big tanks. The water can only flow out this direction. So as the water's being sucked by our pump right here, this is from the tanks. Now we can choose to we have some valves on the other side. I really don't want to go on the road, so we have two valves on the other side, so you can choose to pull from both tanks or just one tank. So it pulls from here. Here's the first cone, sucks in. Here's the second cone. Typically you only do one or the other because you don't want to mix chemicals this close together. And then it pumps, and then here's a third cone, and from here it goes out the hose. It is impossible, or at least extremely, extremely hard. No, it's impossible. It's impossible to get chemical fed backwards because the pressure from the tanks is always greater than this cone. And it also allows us to not contaminate anything like in the ditch or anything, because as long as we get everything cleaned out before, I would say on this 2,400 gallon tank, we usually try and have all the chemical in by like 15 to 1,800 gallons. So you still have that, 6 to 900 gallons being pumped out. That's just fresh water to help clean the hose out. So that way when you disconnect the hose from the tractor, if a little bit of water drips out, it's just straight water. But to prevent us from having too much water spilt in the ground, we actually have our air lines from our semi-truck plumbed in right here, right above this valve. So that way we can actually blow all the water out of the hose and into the sprayer before we disconnect it. So that way the hose is basically empty by the time we disconnect it. So if anything does drip out, it's just a few drops and it's 99.99% water. I don't know what gave some people the impression that farmers just like to spray chemicals willy-nilly and not be careful about it. I mean, if you ask some people, it's like I take this chemical cage right here and just all over the place. But no, it's too expensive to do that, okay? So we take a lot of precautions. And of course, we wear gloves, and we don't scratch our eyes with it. In the last video I did of me driving a tender trailer, I was wearing my gloves and I went and scratched my eye with it, and all my friends gave me crap for a really, really long time. So don't scratch your eyes with your gloves that you use to mix chemicals. One of my favorite features about the sprayer is the steerable hitch. You guys gotta check this thing out. So he made the turn, he came this way. Look how many tire tracks there are, or how many tracks are left. Just 2. On a self-propelled, one that does not have 4-wheel steering, you would have 4 tracks on this turn. Here you only have 2, so less compaction and less overall crop being run over, because yes, the track tractors create a little bit of berming, but here's the thing. At this stage, any corn that's gonna be run over is gonna die, so it doesn't really matter. Now I know some of the fancier sprayers, especially like the Hagie, have 4-wheel steering, but it's either like an on or off thing. And I know a lot of people are not big fans of the 4-wheel steering when they're actually driving through the field. So lots of the times it's actually turned off. Unless you remember to turn it on every time you get to a headland, it's going to create 4 tire tracks. Now there are some people that probably like to drive through the field with the 4-wheel steering on. I know the one time I tried it, I was not a fan. Now don't get me wrong, the Hagie was awesome. I love the Hagie. Not a fan of the 4-wheel steering going through the field. Okay, water should be going into it now. There it goes. So we did make a front fill in the tractor this year. We didn't quite know how to get the pivoting points to work, so my dad built this. And it actually seems to be working really good. A little bit crude, but nothing's happened yet. Okay, now that we got some gallons in there, I'm going to turn the pump on and set it to agitate. I'm just noticing now that that left track is extremely out of alignment. You can see it wearing right here, how shiny it is, and it's hot, and the other side's cool. That needs to be fixed. 600, yeah. Your left track is super out of alignment. Hot? Very, on the outside. It's like shiny, the lugs are. You can see where it's been rubbing. So we got all the chemicals in, around 1,700 gallons, and we're just waiting for it to fill up the rest of the way now. There we go. Now I gotta put this lovely hose all the way back in. It's kind of slow. There we go. Beautiful. Could have sang like Freebird by now. There we go. One last thing to do is turn the water off. Gotta go from the top. There we go. Because if we don't, some of these valves leak just a little bit on these cones. So if we don't turn the water off, the cones will start filling full of water. Not really that big of a deal, just kind of more of a pain.
Saw you glance your everlasting light. Met your eyes, razor sharp, cut right through the crowd. I don't even want to know your name. I just wanna keep you to myself. Stay with me or leave me be. I want you all too bad. We're strangers in the night. I just wanna keep you to myself. Stay with me or leave me be. I want you all too bad. We're strangers in the night. We're in a strange delight. Come with me and you will see. We are bound to be strangers in the night.
Now that I'm a lot emptier, it should be a lot easier for this poor old 98 9-speed to pull us. When leaving my shop fully loaded, it takes a mile for me to hit 50 miles per hour. Old brute. Okay. All good. This first shift's also very hard. Little grinding, not bad. This is our only truck that does not have a Jake brake, and man, I sure wish it did. Using the hills to my advantage. I'm going over the interstate here, so I got a hill up, do my first downshift. Ooh, that was a little grindy. Okay, now I'm going back down the hill, so I have to use my brakes a little bit. Driving truck, I always try and use my brakes the least amount I possibly can, because I just don't want to wear them out. I don't want to run out of air. Okay, hit the splitter. 4th, 5th. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Oh, nice day to mow your lawn. Ah, you waved back. Look at that. What a nice guy. They are also fun. Oh, I bet this car is hating me. They've gone through 2 stop signs now, or 2 intersections, expecting them to go a different way than I am. But they followed me the entire time. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna go really slow and pull way over for them. Just pass me, people. Just pass me. There you go. I know. I hate getting stuck behind semis too. So in order to get water in our water trailer, we are using the straight truck that we built here this past winter, and one we got from Indiana, and it actually works pretty dang good as a water hauler. We drive that down to town, and we get town water, which is a lot nicer, cleaner water than the old water we used to use. That's a 3,600 gallon tank, and then we just transfer it from that tank into our big tender truck, and it works pretty slick. It goes out so far really easy, then it gets hard. There we go. Let's see, we need this valve open. Kind of a two-handed job. Lift this up. Open this. Okay. I actually want that one closed. And I want this one open. So it's going to come in, go down the pump, go out that way. I want that closed, I want this open, I want that closed, I want this open. Yes, okay. I also want this open. Well, there we go, guys. I'm gonna go fill this water truck up, but we're gonna be done spraying for the night because the place that we were going to go to got rained out. So we're mostly done spraying corn, and the very end of the field that we just got done spraying, we're gonna have to watch it. We might come back with the high boy and kick some more, get some more weeds if the very end of that got rain. But either way, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.